Hello everyone, in this video I want to cover off data visualization, data ink ratio, things like that with an example here, a use case as we would call it. So you can see on your screen here that I have some data up here about an exam, and it can be kind of hard to see, right? Look at all this real estate that we could be using to show the user the information in a better light. So this would be bad data ink because we're wasting this real estate. If I go to the first zoom level within this software, now I've got the opposite. Now I'm losing data over here that I have to keep scrolling left and right on. So that's an example of bad data ink as well. So I got to think about the Goldilocks paradox. Remember that story? Perhaps if you're not from here, you might not have heard it, but the idea is, is it too small? Is it too large? Or is it just right? Okay, that's the Goldilocks paradox. Do we have it just right, or are we deficient either in it being too small or too big, things like that. So if I were to just go right here, this would be bad. If I go there, that's bad too. So maybe we can go with 150, but this particular software doesn't allow that. So what you might want to do is either take it out of the software into a software that you're more comfortable with, or address the issue. So what is the issue here? Well, I can't see this stuff over here, but yet I've got some nice real estate here to move a few things around. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so I am literally going to move this over here, and I'll move some of this stuff over here. Basically, we want to make sure everything is within this band here. Okay. Now I would also argue the color scheme is off. It's kind of light blue, and then you got some gray up here, so that would be a bad thing as well. But I'm not going to fix that in here. We're just going to have to go with it for this demonstration. The other thing I could do is I could say, you know what, I could tuck these down a little bit and make my graphic just a little bit better. Okay, so just tighten it up a little bit. And now when I zoom in, I can see the information much better. Now you might argue, and I would argue this, you have high score first and then low score. I would like to see this moved, low to high really is the nice direction that, logically, human beings kind of fall low. And then as you go to the right, it's higher as well there. So, lots of stuff to think about here. We could also argue that this thing should be at the end or maybe at the beginning, like I'd like to see it at the beginning because it's a unique variable that will feed into our hypothesis of how people did in the exam. Like if I had people finish this in 20 minutes as the average time, we've got a problem. But if they finish it in that amount of time, then we're good. Now you might ask yourself, how are people able to spend an hour 3 on it? Well, remember we have a 75-minute period, so it's not saying 103 minutes there. It's saying 1 hour and 3 minutes, or almost 4 minutes there. So keep that in mind. So now we've got the data here, and you can see where the concentration of the values is. So we might want to just put a black thing here. Say the values are concentrated over here. That might be a good graphic to put in. Certainly it's skewed to the left. As you can see there, it leans and falls to the left. And that's not good in this case. We don't want a left skewed distribution here. We want it right skewed because then that means the majority of the respondents are over on the right side as well. So don't forget about left and right skewed there. In fact, we could even go as far, as to say, hey, we don't need any of this. Let's put something here, sometimes we do this where we got 0 and then, because so that people can see a start point. So there, now we've got some more data. Now I could also do something here where now I did that, I can start moving things around here and make it even nicer for the audience. Then you can say, oh, boom, I can make it go up 1 more. See how I did that, folks? Just messed around a little bit, did some smart plays here as well. And now I've got some better information, the screen is bigger. So the lesson here is don't always use the default ability within your software program. play around with it for presentation purposes and things like that as well. So lesson there with a use case.